Welcome back to Up the Villa podcast, and this is our preview for Aston Villa women v Chelsea women in the semi-final of the FA Cup. Doesn't that sound good? Semi-final of the FA Cup. So, we didn't do a match reaction to the last Chelsea game in the WSL because I thought there's a bit of a long break. So I thought we'll merge the two together. So we've got a reaction, preview. I think it's good to talk about what went wrong and then what can we do better in this game. I spoke about in the preview to that game that I wanted to give Chelsea questions for this game. So questions that they'll have to be thinking about. What are they going to pose? What threat? What did Villa do well? And I think that's a testament to how Villa have been doing. If we can give Chelsea those questions. So it was a 3-0 loss. Villa's impressive form has sort of come to an end, and it's no disrespect losing to Chelsea. They are a fantastic team. The WSL, they've got superstars left, right, and centre. So there still is that little bit of a gulf between Villa and Chelsea and United. So I think we've got to bridge that gap, but we've made great progress this season. So let's have a look at the lineup. So Villa went with Pacheco, Patton, Turner, Laura Blinkide, but they've got that slightly wrong because it was Staniforth that played right back in that game. We had Darley, and we also had Blinkide in the middle with Hansen and Lehman and Rachel Daly up top, with Nobbs just sort of playing in that number 10 sort of shadow striker. So what did I make of the game? I felt like we did okay. I felt like we were in the game in parts. I think we started the game okay. We got our passing range going, and we were looking quite tidy on the ball. We were offering a threat, which was really good. But I think the more the game went on, especially in that first half, Chelsea really started to press Villa, and we started to have some problems playing out from the back. I think Pacheco was a little bit loose, and I think the centre-backs were a little bit loose as well, which then just brought on more pressure, and we were really being pressed all over the pitch. I felt like they really pressed and marked Darley really well. They shut her out of the game. And I felt like Darley then became a little bit loose with the ball because sometimes she'd get the ball, she'd lose it, she'd be pressed. And then next time she got the ball, she felt like she had to overplay it. So I felt like we were overplaying it a little bit. And that's what good sides can do to you. When you're being pressed, you start second guessing what you should be doing. And I just felt like some of our passes were just a little bit off, and they did play Darley really well, to be fair. We played in stages, and I felt like the midfield was a stage, then we'd got Nobbs, and then we'd got Rachel Daly. So I think the one thing that we can learn from this is we need to be a little bit more compact. I think we need to be more compact, a little bit more organised, and try and have a little bit more belief. And I think we can do better than what we did in the last game. I think there was a little bit of frustration from Rachel Daly. I think when you could see she was getting a little bit frustrated because she was out of the game, and it was one of their goals where she came deep, she tried to retrieve the ball, she won it back, she played into midfield, and they broke on us and scored. So I think we've just got to stay calm, and I think we hopefully can get a little bit more joy from it. One player that I was really impressed with was Hannah Hampton. I really thought her leadership was coming out for me when I was watching her on the pitch, when she was playing out from the back and she was sort of saying, what are you doing? What's going on? She was really putting pressure on her players to be better. And I kind of liked that. I liked that she was getting stuck into a couple of them because there were misplacing passes, and we just didn't really have that sort of passing game of what we've seen from recent weeks. So I felt like we did well, but like I say, I think we can do better when we look at it and think we have played against a good team, but like I say, I think Villa can definitely play a little bit better than that. So, what are we going with in this game then? So I've done my lineup, and I'll talk you through my lineup on what I think would potentially be a little bit of a better lineup against Chelsea second time round. So this is what I've gone with. So I've gone with Hannah Hampton in goal, Pacheco, Corsi, Turner. Hopefully Sarah Malin is back and she can go back into right back. I don't think the Lucy Staniforth worked. I think she's a far better player. She offers us so much more being in the middle of the park. So I think 110% we've got to see Lucy Staniforth back in central midfield alongside Kenza Darley. I've gone with Hansen on the left, and I've gone with Laura Blinkard-Brown on the right ahead of Alicia Lehmann because I like Blinkard's work rate. I think her work rate is far better. I think she's more mobile. I think she puts herself about more on the pitch. I think she's got a little bit more tactical nous about her, and I think she doesn't go missing in games that often. And I know she's really young, and I just think, although I like Lehmann, I think she's really good, and I think she's such a threat going forward. I just think in this game we need a team performance. We need 11 players on the pitch that are putting in an absolute shift, and I think this could potentially be the system that I would go with. I felt like in the game against Chelsea at the Bescott a couple of weeks ago, I felt like they shut Kenza Darley down, and I felt like it was difficult to get Jordan Nobbs in the game. So I think I'd like her to sit a little bit deeper and become part of a midfield three more than a threat in that sort of area. I think we really need to see Nobbs and Daly getting on the ball a lot more because they are our best players in the team. So the partnership of Daly, and Nobbs have really got to work together, and those are our best players, so we need to get them on the ball. And I think by having Nobbs a little bit more central in midfield, I think it will allow Kenza Darley to pick up the ball and be not so isolated like what she was in the last game as well. So that's my formation. That's what I would go with. Again, you can have Daly. You can still have Nobbs when we are in possession going to support Daly. But I do think she needs to just drop a little bit deeper and help out a little bit more. So that's my formation. That's what I would go with. Let me know at home what you would go with. But, I just want to reiterate that it's just a fantastic achievement to even be in the semi-final to start with. And we are making really, really big progress. I'm seeing it every single time I see them play. I see something a little bit different. I see them, I just see that added sort of belief in them. So, they did hold their own really well. But I think an opposition player who I think is probably my favourite player in the WSL is Reeton. What a player. And I think she probably goes under the radar, to be fair, because you see, a lot of the English players getting a lot of praise, like Russo, etc. But Reeton, for me, is one of the best players in the league. Sam Kerr, obviously, a legend. She's playing really well. But, I think if we're going to go with this centre-back as well for Chelsea, I think we've really got to put her under pressure because I think she can be got at when you got players that are breaking through the lines in transition as well. So I think it's going to be a difficult game, but I'd like to see more of a three in central midfield. So yeah, it's going to be a fantastic occasion. I just hope we put in a really big performance and we can step up a little level and we can do something in this game. So that's my reaction and my thoughts ahead of Chelsea in the FA Cup. So let me know what your thoughts are. We have got on our website now the predicted lineup that you can do for the women's team as well. So basically just go on to AVFC Aston Villa women's section on our website, go on the select your lineup. You can select your lineup, you can save it, and you can also share it onto Twitter as well. So, the website's fantastic. And we've got loads of content on there. We've got, you know, the men's game, we've got the academy, we've got previews, opposition previews. We've got absolutely everything on there. So go over and have a little look. So yeah, that's my reaction. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Up the Villa.